You know, when you're investing thousands of dollars and honestly hundreds of hours into your education, you expect one thing above everything else, that your investment is safe. But is it? Today, we're going to take a look at how one beauty school is basically building a fortress around their students' futures, creating what they're calling a new gold standard for protection.
So let's just start with that big question. In the beauty world, your training hours are everything. I mean, they're literally the currency that gets you your license, your career. So how can you be absolutely positive that every single minute is counted for and kept safe? What's protecting your hard work?
Now, of course, there are rules. States have regulations, and Kentucky is no exception. But what we're digging into today is this idea that just meeting the bare minimum, well, that isn't the goal. For some, it's just the warm-up.
Right, so to really get what it means to go above and beyond, we first have to understand the baseline. Let's open up the official rule book that every single beauty school in Kentucky has to play by.
The folks in charge here are the Kentucky Board of Cosmetology, or the KBC. Think of them as the referees. They set the rules of the game for the entire state, making sure every school, salon, and pro is up to standard. And here are the fundamentals, the absolute basics they require. You got to track attendance accurately, stick to the hour limits, keep good records, and report those student hours every single month. It's all about creating a clear, accountable trail for every student's journey. These are the non-negotiables.
And that monthly reporting? Yeah, that's on a really tight schedule. By the 10th of every month, boom, schools have to send in all the hours from the month before. It's a hard deadline, which means there's constant oversight.
Now, this is interesting because there's protection built right into the rules themselves. The KBC says a student can't get credit for more than 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week. And this is all about student well-being, right? It's to prevent burnout and make sure the learning environment is fair and healthy for everyone.
So that's the baseline. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's see what it looks like when a school takes those rules and decides to build a fortress of transparency and protection around them. This is where we get into that new gold standard.
And this quote, wow, it just says it all. This isn't about ticking boxes for a regulator. It's about weaving accountability into the very DNA of the school. It's a total shift in mindset. So how different is it really? Well, think of the old way, manual paper sheets, like trying to drive down a foggy road with no GPS. It's risky, full of guesswork, and you could easily get lost or lose your records. The LBS way, it's like that fog just lifts. You've got crystal clear GPS. Biometric fingerprints mean it's you and only you clocking in. The digital logs can't be changed and everything's backed up. The fog is just gone.
And we're not just talking about one cool gadget. This is a complete digital ecosystem. From the second you sign a digital contract, to clocking in with your fingerprint, to all your communications and even photos of your work, every single step of your education is tracked, documented, and secured.
And here's the best part. This transparency isn't something students have to chase down or ask for. It's automatic. You never have to sit there wondering, hey, how many hours do I have? The answer just shows up every single month like clockwork. Okay, so this all sounds really impressive, but what does it actually mean for a student? Why does this whole digital fortress thing matter in the real world? Let's break down the actual benefits. First up, empowerment. It's that simple. You always have access to your own progress. You know exactly where you stand, which means you're in the driver's seat of your own education. Then you get security, total security. With biometrics and digital logs that can't be messed with, the risk of your hard-earned hours getting lost, misplaced, or even changed just evaporates. Your record is safe, period. Oh, and this is a big one. Portability. Let's say you need to move someday. Having a super detailed, credible, and verifiable record of your training makes transferring those hours to another state so much smoother. It's trusted.
And when you add it all up, what do you get? Control. This system changes the whole dynamic. You're not just a passive follower hoping your school is doing the right thing. You're an informed partner who can see everything about your own journey.
But here's where the story gets bigger than just one school. LBA isn't keeping these innovations secret. They actually have a vision to help raise the standards for the entire beauty industry. You can really see their commitment on this timeline. First, they built a better system for themselves. Now they're running it with total transparency. But the most important step is what's next, openly sharing their playbook so other schools can adopt these higher standards too.
And they are not holding back. They're sharing everything, the regulatory know-how, the systems they use, their best practices for being transparent, even how they stay ready for an audit at a moment's notice. It's like an open-source approach to running an ethical school.
And this, right here, this is the why behind it all. It's about moving away from an old-school culture of gatekeeping and secrecy, and moving toward one that's all about strength, ethics, and always putting the student first.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to these 4 powerful promises. A student's future isn't just some abstract goal. No, it's documented, it's verified, it's secure, and it's ready to be proven to any employer or state board out there.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question to think about. We've seen what's possible in a beauty school, but shouldn't this be the standard everywhere? For every student in every vocational program, whether it's welding, coding, or culinary arts, shouldn't they be guaranteed the same level of digital protection and transparency? It's a standard worth aiming for.